to a fantastic, detail-oriented introduction. My partner, Bradley, Koo,
Operations guy. Hey, it's been a couple weeks, 3 weeks or so since we've had an opportunity.
It's like we have to rekindle our relationship.
I know. Well, it's good to do
I've
it.
not seen you in such a long time. It's true.
You know, it is. I got back from vacation. It was so cool to take a look at the software and see all the new enhancements, and I'm sure we'll get a chance to show off a lot of those here today.
When you leave the hen house unattended, Brad, like you did, somebody like me,
the fox got in.
The fox got in and started making a big old mess. And you know what's great is you guys today are going to see that mess that the fox has been making. And that sneaky fox come up with something. This presentation is going to be a good one. Maybe, Brad, the best one ever.
Maybe the best ever.
The best ever. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you're about to be impressed. Because as it turns out, nothing you're going to be listening to here is investment advice. See how I transition, Brad, right into the disclaimer? Don't be impressed just by that. But
you have to satisfy the lawyers.
Trade Ideas is not a registered investment advisor. All the information that you are going to see here on this presentation is for educational and informational purposes and not a solicitation to buy or sell a security. So now that we've got that beautiful claim out of the way, we kind of like to, do a little humor here, give you a little understanding of who you're dealing with. This is me, and I've been investing my whole life, and I have been one of the pioneers in this industry, and a lot of this technology that you're about to see encompasses, my God, I was so handsome at 25. This is 21 years later. I'm 46 now, and I'm still doing it. So you're getting to see 21 years of skill, and of course, Brad's not too shabby either with his experience. But enough about me, Brad.
Enough about you.
Enough about me. We've been using this slide in a couple of presentations because there's a couple of things that we have been trying to get at, which is investing is not really as much about, sitting there and finding the perfect indicator and making things complicated. It's really about creating a flow, a process, and then being able to repeat that process. So this is a beautiful thing that Tim Ferriss says. I value self-discipline, me too. But the more that you can schedule what you're doing the right way, you don't have to rely just on self-discipline, which is faulty. Your emotions and things like that, they affect how you think. So Nike has this beautiful slogan. Brad, you know what it is, right? Just do it. There's a lot of
20 plus years now.
That's right. There's a lot of psychology behind that because in almost everything, at the end of the day, whether it's diet or a new career, a new relationship, whatever it is, you have to just do it. And of course, it's the same thing for investing, and especially investing successfully. So a lot of science of what we have done at Trade Ideas is not simply just the technology, but there's a lot of psychological elements to what we're going to show you today. Brad, here's something that you may not know. Did you know that flashcards are a very good way for people to learn things?
I did know that.
I'm sure we have all learned that, but here's some basic cognitive overview reasons. The bottom line is, when it comes to studying or reviewing concepts in the most effective way possible, nothing comes close to flashcards. Okay? Repeat, repeat, repeat. So on that note, I want you to think about this for a little bit because we're going to come back to it. Brad, are you familiar with this?
Weight Watchers, yeah, I think he's been running.
Okay, so to the tune of just do it. Okay, those of you who aren't Trade Ideas subscribers, it's not that we want to brag, but we do. So we provide a service called the Trade of the Week, and it's a free service that we give you a sample of how our AI technology assesses things and suggestions, but in a much longer term. Like in other words, instead of saying get in, get out, this is a get in, and if you can maintain it, you have potential for incredible gains. This is a position that since it was called in February has gone up over 150%. And I know that a lot of you have seen this, so this should not come as any kind of surprise. Brad, is there some audio problem, or am I?
I just think Scott's having some issues or hearing some other voices, but I don't think it's pervasive for everybody.
No, one of the viewers has a video ad playing in the background. He's confusing it.
Ah, okay, got it. I just want to make sure. But anyways, so many of you have seen this, and people who get this, by the way, the trade of the week is free. But this is our example of where just do it. You know, we do these things. People have to take advantage of them, but we at least put you in a position to get something like this. This is what active investing and pursuit of alpha, which is returns above the indexes, is all about. It's situational awareness. It's finding things that you otherwise would not have seen and possibly taking advantage. So Brad, I feel like that's a good segue for everybody, right? Weight Watchers, beautiful example of long-term, successful, and a way to say, hey, the software keeps assisting you. Now, a lot of you are going to be seeing some things that you haven't seen before because we've been developing so much, so fast, so crazy that nobody has what I'm showing, right? Because, I mean, other than us internally, no beta user really has this.
I don't think so. I may have dabbled it out a couple times, but for
the you dirt. Never.
For the most part, it's not released yet. Yeah.
So notice here, ladies and gentlemen, that now that the stock has moved up, our computers are assisting people that hold this position with a adjusted smart stop. So what you're now able to do is, let's take a look at some stocks that we like Apple. Every single time you pull up any stock, our AI is giving you an opinion of how it would treat it. Now, it isn't saying that this is what it would do, but it's saying that if it was forced to be in something, here's how it would behave. This would be its smart stop. In other words, this is where it would get out. And this would be a profit target. And you can kind of see why, hopefully, it's doing that. And it does it for every single stock. No matter what, no matter where.
And you know, what's super interesting about that, Dan, is that what it gives you for Apple today, it could be different tomorrow if there's a lot of volume, if the range is different, whatever the metrics are going on that particular stock, it's looking at it and assessing what it should be.
Well, let's talk about that, Brad, in terms of what we were saying in the presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, what we do at Trade Ideas, being obsessive about giving our subscribers bigger gains, is we're trying to answer the difficult questions for you, because every now and again we all pull up a stock and the question is, okay, well, what if I'm going to go in this now, but just do it, what should I do? And we wanted our computer to help you instantly, and that's what you see here. Okay, and this is one of the coolest little innovations that we brought forth, because what this does is, as Brad can tell you, is that each one of these is custom different for every single stock. It uses a stock's own internal volatility and the range and all these cool things that we do. And now you get, again, whether it's AMD, NVDA, MSFT, you know, and of course I can just make it so it's more zoomed in for you guys to see it here, but the idea is everything now is made for you by a navigation system that's saying, if you were trading this, this is how the proper technique would be. It's like playing golf with your own pro who's with you the whole time. Brad, I can't believe it. I just figured it out.
Well, I think it's more like playing golf with a caddy, but you know, okay.
Whoever. No, Dan, this is pro skills. A caddy's gonna tell you something.
How about a pro caddy?
Pro caddy, that's right. I'm one of those guys. So again, ladies and gentlemen, think of what you're seeing here. Remember, nothing for you to do. Trade Ideas wants to automate the hard things. Notice how the chart is not littered with this stuff that we like to call crap. George Carlin has a great, Brad, show about crap. If you YouTube it, I guarantee you that will make this one meeting that you went to today worth it, because it's really good.
That's a good.
The point is, to the tune of just do it. There's no need for paralysis by analysis, no need to draw the fancy tridents and wiggly digglies and all this stuff that the technical analysis industry has put on people, when in reality you just need a high-level overview. Where should I get out and where should I take some money off the table? So again, every single stock has that information for you now. This will probably be in one of the relatively soon released betas, but it actually gets a lot better. Okay, so Brad, remember what we were talking about? We were talking about flashcards, right?
Yep.
Okay, so let's do some flashcards. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Xavier School for the Gifted, to the tune of being better traders without having to do anything. We'll kind of take a look at a little bit of what's going on. What you'll notice is I'm not touching anything. We have now asked our AI to not only give you the navigation for the stops and the starts, but to auto scroll based on where your attention should be focused. You can of course pause it, and remember this is a very, very early version. But think about this, you have just now witnessed much more information than you ever otherwise would have, and you didn't have to do anything. This is the flashcards. Your eyes are catching patterns that you otherwise would not see, and just the benefit of seeing them and watching them is already going to make you a better trader. You're going to see where stops ideally should be placed. So in other words, you're going to learn how to do this, not from somebody bullshitting you about Fibonacci levels or whatever, but by about a card counting AI that statistically knows where stops should be. It's better than anything that you could possibly have for investing. And notice now, again, it's automatically cycling through. Let's go to another channel. The idea is simple. We want you to be able to be more efficient, not work harder, not paint charts more, but be more efficient. See information in a clearer way. And if you need to just do it, you will instantly have a guideline. Okay, so great question. Somebody, Brad, just asked, and I'll answer real quick. They see the smart stop and they see the profit target, but where is the entry point? I love it. Kimberly, thank you. The entry point is right now. Just do it. The idea here is if when you pull up this stock, at this point in time, this could be the entry point. This is not the AI channel. This is the AI assisting you on perusing through all sorts of other events. Remember that the AI only does its own thing. But at this point in time, what it's saying is the current price is where you're going to get in. And if you need to manage it, it's giving you the roadmap. This is what we are so excited about. And now when you go to channels, you can quickly just not only peruse one idea or have some thoughts about what you want to see, but we are now, again, we are your Tesla autopilot. And it's exactly like that. It's not going to do everything for you, but it's simply helping you out. Okay, great question about the smart stop and the profit target. So the smart stop and the profit target are not part of premium. They're part of everything. Any channel that you're on, and that's why you can see it, will have this on autopilot, and it will automatically help you by surfing through the ideas until you stop, and then it can go again. Brad, when do you think this version will come out?
This is our beta candidate. So I would suspect that if everything goes okay, we'll have this thing ready by Friday.
Yeah, by Friday. And we have never been more excited about this. I mean, there is really nothing like this kind of a thing out there, and we're super pumped about the potential of this kind of auto-piloted screen, where again you have to do just a lot less. So Brad, what else do we even need to say?
Well, I don't know. You know, it's interesting. I think that autopilot really is it works hand in hand with the AI channel, just because the couple of the columns that we have that it's sorting on, which is what the change over the last 5 minutes. So it's always bringing to the top these interesting ideas. And if you have the auto surfing on this particular channel, it really does provide some interesting stuff that you may not be looking at.
Well, the other thing too, I think, which is very important, remember the AI channel, the part of the premium, I mean, that's giving you, whereas the other one's giving you high-level navigation, this one is specific destination. I mean, you get exact entry, exit, everything. I mean, it's really the...
Right, so specific to the question earlier, right, she was asking where do you get in, and in the example that you were showing, it's really now at this point in time, but this channel here is really giving you specific ideas that are set up at a specific time for a certain duration and really holding your hand through the whole process.
The whole process. Again, going back to playing golf with a caddy and a pro, I mean, this is really, you're playing golf with a caddy and a pro and a masseuse.
Maybe you should just watch the pro and the caddy.
While the masseuse is working on your shoulder. I love it. Okay, so Kimberly, in this presentation, you can kind of see, here's the AI was probably today right around like 58% successful-ish, I'm going to say. But it's very good. I mean, that's the bottom line. It's very, very good. That's why we are the fastest growing subscription service in all of FinTech. There's no one who has anything even remotely like what we do. And now that we're, again, taking it not just from the technological point of view, but also from the point of view of the being able to give you a better way to consume, okay? The fact that you simply just now, hey, all I need to do is do nothing. Okay, so Brad, question about risk on and risk off. Great questions, and the idea is kind of simple. You can Google the term risk on and risk off, and the definition is this: risk on means that volatility in the stock market is helping you. In other words, all the swings are going in the direction of the trades that the AI is in. Whereas risk off means that you want to be much more careful. Like if you've got some profits, you lock them in. So today it was one of those days where although the market went up in terms of what the AI was doing, you needed to lock in some of the profits. And it tells you the whole time what you're doing, whether you're in risk off mode or in risk on mode. And what our clients do is they're able to trade around. Because as Brad is saying, notice this window right here is showcasing for you stocks that are moving in the direction of the AI over the last however long. So you're constantly reiterating the good behavior. You don't need to do anything. I cannot overstress enough how insane this one little innovation is going to change your ability to succeed. The amount of information that you're going to see is literally exponentially going to increase. And the fact that you can switch channels and right now really get that value add of being able to see not only a tiny, tiny microcosm of what you normally see, but now a macrocosm of what's happening. Look at these stocks that you otherwise might never have even laid eyes on. That's the beauty. I mean, that's the art here. That's what we are so excited about. Okay, Brad, what other questions do we have?
I think we're caught up so far.
Okay, fantastic. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get back to the PowerPoint, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the way that people interface here. Barry Anderson, who's our lead moderator of our trading room, our community room, which is free, also, just like I just showed you, has access to the latest technology, and he showcases that technology all throughout the day. So one of the best ways that people kind of window shop and see what's going on in the markets is through our trading room. I really suggest if you do not have that, that you go to that link at the top, set up your account, and join the community. It's really quite good. Additionally, we have a podcast that we do on Friday where we kind of take a slightly less serious approach to investing, but hopefully through humor, we highlight some of the better ways that you can really engage with the markets, and we have really cool guests on, people that share their experiences and help elevate the whole community and the marketplace in general. So I want to make sure that from the point of view of sales or anything like that, we really don't want you to feel like you need this. You have to know it yourself. But when you do that, think about, again, just what you're seeing here. The fact that you are now not needing to be Fred Flintstone getting your feet underneath the car, lifting up the car and running with it. You can actually get in the car, say car, go, and boom, the car's going for you. I don't really know what, Brad, what else I even need to say.
Well, I mean, the program's complex. We've been doing this for a long time. There's a lot of stuff here, but what we're trying to do recently is just really make it simpler. Take all this tech and just make it easier to use.
That's right. And to simply reiterate what Brad is saying, the idea here is instead of you having to design workspaces, we customize them for you. We specifically took all this time to make sure that we can give the kind of user experience that they would not they would not get anywhere else. So Joe, yes, this will be on every channel. And of course you can pause it and not use it. But the idea is that in terms of processing information, this will be on every single channel. So that wherever you go, you can right away see exactly what you need to see. And it's all about the flashcards, We're taking it to a different level. We've made the stock game from a comic book to a movie. So Brad, I'm not sure if I know Hugo's answer. It sounds like something that's right up your technical alley.
Yeah, I am reading it right now. I don't know. I'll find out. Hugo, shoot me an email, brad@trade-ideas.com, and I'll get an answer for you. There's got to be a way to delete it with one of the keyboard alternatives, but. Okay,
Nathan, let me explain to you the pinning and not pinning. So notice when I'm like let's say I love some stock. What stock do I love, Brad? Pick a stock, Nathan. Okay. So I want to keep watching Apple, after hours, and what I do is I have it pinned. But, and maybe after hours is not a great example, but the idea is that when I do that, I'm then able to channel surf, but still keep an eye on Apple. So it's pinned to this space without me needing to do anything. Whereas if it's not pinned, it disappears because that's not part of the channel. So Joe, every time it flashes, it's not suggesting a new entry. What it's saying is it's basically showing you different stocks and what's going on now. And if you wanted to get in, it is telling you what the AI would do. In this mode here, because this is not AI, this is for everybody, this is your general stock navigation system, where it's saying, hey, if you're going to get in right now, the just do it technique, these are the levels. And it will go through anything. Nathan, a print is when a stock trades, it prints on the time and sales. And time and sales is the record of all transactions in the market. So yes, right now the AI assistant is long only because again, the guys that are short can know that they would just have to flip it. It's not that difficult. Your profit target and smart stop are just flipped. But again, eventually it will all be, you'll be able to set it for different things. You'll be able to like basically check off, show me the short side instead of the long side. But going back to, remember, the flashcards. Every stock that you see can be annotated, okay? So for example, I was just on eBio, okay? And there was an alert there. So I can go to another stock, let's say right here, SPLS, okay? Look at that move. Woo! Beautiful today, okay? Staples, maybe it's getting bought up, who knows? And I can say, you know what, I'm not in it yet, but I'm gonna get in right here if it breaks this price. So now it is blue skies. So we give you this ability as well, and notice, boom, right away, you can see it on the graph. That way I can go back to seeing something else. If I come back, I know that that's my price. So you can interact with it in many different ways. So again, Nathan, volume is volume, and what I would say is that don't worry about that much. There's nothing that the volume is going to say to you at the exact number that's going to help you just do it. It's really more of a feel thing versus an exact thing, because relatively speaking, every day will be a little bit different and everything is affected slightly different. You want to be less confined to stringent just do it beliefs in terms of how to get in. And we are working actually to modify the volume bars. They're going to be decoupled from the chart, but I'm just saying that that's not something that we are focusing on this point, because the more important thing is to show you more ideas so that you can process information better and be able to see things that you otherwise would not see. Okay, Brad, are we all caught up?
Yeah, we're caught up so far.
I love it. All right, well listen, okay, are there any other questions? Because this is your Q&A. We showed you the good stuff. You are at the apex of the learning curve. Thank you, Mark. We are very appreciative of that. Arjun, we're going to do more and more with interactive brokerage. It's just that it's waiting for some of this stuff. That's all. Oh, Kimberly, if you go to YouTube, and maybe one of our guys can copy a link, but we have an extensive video library of virtually everything that you could possibly imagine. How is this different from VectorVest? Well, VectorVest does not have artificial intelligence. And this actually works. That's another way. So, Brad, RBI, GBI.
So yeah, part of the premium package. Why don't you? It's not going to be incredibly interesting in the after hours, but you can show the folks how to bring it in. This is a tool that we created using another program that we developed called TIQ, and that's just a way for us to really create a strategy, if you will, without having to have the alerts and filters like you have in TI Pro. So effectively, we created a script. We wrote our own language to create these windows here, looking for red bar ignored and green bar ignored on different time frames.
Right, and there's no, is there historical on these? Or?
No historical on these.
Yeah, okay, right, right. So Joe's asking, the stocks that move up slowly all day long, what's the best scanner to look at for detecting those? Well, Joe, it's a funny question because a little bit of your question is, well, you know, how do I win in the stock market every time? If the answer was simple, everybody would know. There is no way to know exactly what's happening, but that is what our AI is trying to do. Okay, the AI is trying to find stocks that are going to go up based on how behaviorally the market is happening. And that is why, like for example, today, I'm going to kind of, let me close these up, Brad. I'll just give everybody so they can see, for example, what stocks the AI traded today. So these were all the trades, okay? Winners versus losers. And this is off and this is risk on. So you can kind of see, again, if you're conservative, see, I mean, very little down, but you wouldn't have gotten everything out of the upside as well. On the risk on, there's some really big winners, like this one, for example. Look at the entry. I believe it's that on support. Again, a strategy that is looking for things that your eye does not know how to look for. I mean, this entry, almost say it was okay, and that's one that happened to have been literally just going up all day. Found that support, it behaved the way it was supposed to behave, and boom. I mean, that's what's going up all day and slowly. This is what it looks like. And we try to look for these on every single, you know, on everything. And the only, I mean, just, Joe, that's what I'm saying. This is exactly what we are trying to do. You know. But the problem is markets are not that easy. You can have these things happen, you know. So the AI is the best thing there is, but it's still not perfect because if it was, my goodness, come on, guys, then the market wouldn't be real. But there is no technology like this that exists in the world today, where this virtual analyst will constantly give you ideas. And today, one of the best things was it really, you know, in terms of risk off, it never went negative. You know, that's the thing. It really outdoes, especially on a percentage basis, if you look at the prices. It's quite powerful.
Go ahead and pull up the risk on profit graph just to see, because, you know, the end of the day data doesn't really tell the whole story. There was tremendous moves that this thing was you know, showing the users all day long.
Almost 4 points until the last hour. Which again, if you were sitting there all day, I mean, and this is the thing, remember too, that people kind of, you know, Brad, I'm glad that you brought this up and you made that point. Investors often get like confused in terms of, you know, what is a service supposed to do? Well, remember that in terms of what we're doing, it's not just simply some sort of black box performance thing. We're also trying to say, hey, we don't know when you are in the market, and we want to give you a technology that can be kind of works around your schedule. So in this particular day, for example, and I'm on West Coast time, so you can see, you know, we had the early morning trades, but trades continued on throughout the day because some people aren't here to access that. So we continue to try to look for information, not because we force it, but I'm just saying it's by design. The product is more than simply just, hey, some sort of index. We're thinking about our subscriber. How do we get you the best information? And part of that is we have to be ready to give you signals all day long because we don't know when you're there. Again, every single trade that you see has all of the labeling, and visually you're able to spot and see what it was trying to do. That to us makes it so much easier for anybody to be able to follow what the technology is attempting. And as Brad and I have said on many, many webinars prior, trade ideas, the AI that we have, every single trade here, although it ends during the day, it is looking at much longer time frames. So all of these moves, you know, that it's trying to catch are potentially long-term pivots, okay? And that is the kind of information that you need. That's beyond simply just, hey, get in now and get out. Because, as we had said before, you can take an AI trade and you can say, well, you know, when it clears this price, now this is my level. So the AI suggests and you save. So you intermingle with it. Super easy, very basic, and just easy to use. Oops, sorry about that. Brad, are we caught up?
Yeah, we are caught up. There were some good questions there, but I think both audibly and via text, we've got them all covered.
Okay. All right. Let us go back to the presentation and finish up, and we'll make it earlier. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about what it is that we do for a living. We're subscription as a service. And we have two price points. We have the standard and we have the premium. And these are the two different ways that you can interact with our software. Monthly $188 or annually $1888, or monthly $99 and annually $888. And here you can kind of see that the premium, of course, has the AI, et cetera, et cetera. You have to know that this is something for you. I hate trying to push or try to convince anyone that this is something that they need, but I will tell you, and our customers know this, there's nothing like this on the market. There's nobody out there that has a virtual artificial intelligence that automatically learns by itself and is ready tomorrow, having processed what happened today, as well as approximately 4 months worth of data and up to possibly 1 million simulations tonight. It's just, again, this is what we do. That's how we're different from everybody else. And like I said before, in terms of the way you can see this information, if you're worried about prices and things like that, join our Trade of the Week, join our community room where Barry is leading, and get the information on your terms. But we have now kind of really jumped into this next evolutionary phase where we've gone from, like I said, from the comic book to the full motion animation avatar type of thing. And, you know, I always like to add a little humor. This is what we cost per day. This is your medical school, and this is your venti cafe latte. Again, you know, if you think about our latte versus AI, Brad, I think it's pretty compelling. Of course, I still want
I'm not going to argue with you there, bud.
But I'm not going to remove, I mean, I still want the latte. I kind of want both, is what I'm trying to say. So,
you can have both, Dan.
We're very easy to get a hold of. On Twitter, I am @TradeIdeas1. Our corporate account is @TradeIdeas. Please like us on Facebook. You can catch me at dan@trade-ideas.com, and of course our general email is info@tradeIdeas.com. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time. This will be recorded. Scott, am I missing anything?
No, that sounds good to me. Thank you everybody for attending. We'll try to have the recording up in a couple of hours, and you'll get an email reminder tomorrow about where to find that replay.
Awesome. Again, thank you guys. Take a look at these new version when it comes out this week. It's going to be amazing. And Jay, yes, there is a user group. We have a support forum. If you go to our website, www.trade-ideas.com, all the links to all the support information are there. Thank you, everyone. Take care.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.